Welcome back to another episode of The Real Deal. This is a show put together by college students for college students, and the only one on campus where it's totally okay to laugh at your friends for saying completely outrageous things.
We are now on episode 3 of The Real Deal, which means we've changed things up just a little bit since the last episode. We promised our fans a new segment in our show, and we did not disappoint. So get ready to sing along to some classics and take a trip back to those middle school dances.
With spring break now over, our time with you is running out. It seems like once the break is over, the rest of the semester just flies by. We only have a few episodes left, so we have to make the last few perfect.
I agree. We've put together some video projects to highlight some key events that have taken place here at the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater. These are made to shed some light on what is happening around campus and how students and faculty can get involved.
Well, Colin, I think it's time to give the people what they want, which is episode 3 of The Real Deal. We're going to kick it off with our newest segment, College Karaoke. Contestants will have to finish a famous song lyric given to them by one of us. Next, one of my favorite segments, Wrong or Real. For those of you who don't know, this segment is our true or false portion of the show, where we seem to get the funniest reactions. Then we're going to wrap it up with our Real and In Solution segment, where we get some insight from students on how we can make the campus a little more enjoyable.
This week was definitely a fun change of pace for us, and I hope you all enjoy the show. Here's a look at our spring weather for the week, and then we will take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, it's karaoke time.
Warhawks know what it takes to become champions. At the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater, our student athletes pursue excellence with a determination that inspires everyone on campus. Warhawks are smart. Warhawks are strong. Warhawks value service. We prepare our student athletes for life after college. The University of Wisconsin-Whitewater. Come be part of the Warhawk family.
Whether you live on campus or commute, University of Wisconsin-Whitewater's 13 dining locations offer many benefits while working for dining services. From meal prepping, catering events, to working alongside others, dining service is flexible with hours, customer focus, and offers management advancement. University of Wisconsin-Whitewater's dining services, where coworkers learn to work together in a friendly environment. To work for dining services, contact campus-dining.com/UWW or stop by one of the 13 locations to get your application today.
Here at the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater, we ensure the safety of others. Our CSOs provide a number of services, such as vehicle jump starts, vehicle unlocks, building lockouts, and walking escorts. Do not be afraid to call 472-4660. CSOs, always there to protect and serve.
Bonsoir à tous.
Hola.
Hej, hur är läget?
Marhaba.
Ni hao.
Konnichiwa.
UWW-Whitewater International Student Association is a student organization brings both international students and national students together to share their cultural experience and beliefs. The ISA also collaborates with other student organizations in UW-Whitewater. The International Dinner is one of the most unique events that ISA have for every spring semester, which serves all kinds of food from different countries, and it invites students to show their talent on a dinner. So what are you waiting for? Come join the ISA today.
We're ISA.
Our newest segment was pretty funny and actually went pretty smooth considering it was our first time filming it. We decided to take a trip down memory lane by choosing hit songs from the early to mid 2000s. Let's see how many you can get.
Feel free to sing along. I know I'll be jamming until the next segment. Roll the clip, please.
His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy.
Oh no. Oh no.
Tonight's the night. Let's live it up.
Oh, I just had the song playing in my head.
You only got one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow.
You gotta lose yourself in the moment you want it, but you never let it go. Oh, yeah. Shout out, Marshall Mathers. Okay.
Dude, now I'm thinking Big Time Rush.
Shorty had them apple bottom jeans.
Boots with the fur.
Yeah, whole club looking at her.
I got my money. Let's crank it up.
There we go. There we go. He got it. He got it.
She hit the floor.
She hit the floor. Next thing you know, Shorty got low.
Candy.
Destiny is calling me. Open up your eager eyes.
It's the colors, Mr. White. The colors.
There you go. Because I'm Mr. Brightside.
Yeah.
There was U2 and Blondie, and
Oh, those lyrics are so familiar.
they're legendary.
U2 and Blondie. Wait, was it like right before your mommy? No.
That's going to be in the outtakes, folks.
We're going down in an earlier round.
I don't know the words though. Yeah.
Going down in an earlier round. Sugar, you're going
Down.
swinging. Are you
That was so sad.
So this segment, it being the first time it was being filmed, we really didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
So I think having all these hip hop / pop / songs from the mid 2000s, I feel like it tripped up a couple people because not everyone went to dances in middle school, or not everyone likes that kind of music. So I definitely think next time we need to maybe incorporate some older songs, some country songs, some just songs that maybe everyone is more likely to get.
I totally agree too, and that's what's great about music is that there are so many different genres, in music. So I think that we should incorporate everyone that we can, and we'll go down memory lane a little bit even further. 70s, 60s, 80s, some of the real classics.
I definitely think it'd be easier if we actually knew how to sing, or I knew how to sing. I know you can sing pretty well.
I cannot sing. I cannot sing.
He's a really good singer. You need to hear him. But no, it's easier when you hear the artist singing it, or you have the tune for the song.
Yeah, because the way that we did it, we didn't want to make it too easy. So what we did was we had the lyric written out, and we just said it kind of like a sentence structure instead of with like a tune, So I think that made it definitely a little bit more difficult.
And then if people had trouble, we sang it a little bit for them, which I think definitely helped them.
Yeah.
So what do you think? What do you think about Wrong or Real?
Let's get into it.
All right.
This is definitely the bread and butter of the show. The segment totally makes it acceptable to laugh at your friends for not knowing that the sun takes up 99% of the mass in our solar system. But if you didn't know that one before, like some of us, you do now. But we have one question for you at home. Is it wrong or real? This is for the candy, all right?
I'm getting the candy either way.
Oreo cookies have existed longer than chocolate chip cookies. Wrong or real?
Real.
That actually is real.
Shrimp. Little guys in the water communicate by urinating on each other.
It sounds fishy, so I'll say real.
Good pun. It's wrong. It's actually lobsters. Yep.
Harvard has a lower acceptance rate than Walmart. That's actually wrong. I'm not even kidding. Harvard has an acceptance rate.
Oreo cookies have existed longer than chocolate chip cookies. Wrong. It's actually real. Oreos were introduced in 1912, where the chocolate chip was invented until like 1938.
Like officially?
Officially.
Wait, but hold on here. Chocolate, can this go on? Chocolate chip cookies are like more. Where are you getting this?
I'm telling you.
Dark chocolate lowers your cholesterol, heart rate, and risk of cancer and heart disease. Wrong or real? You are correct. That is real.
The name of Batman's butler is Albert.
Oh, that's wrong. That's wrong.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh.
And what's the name for us for 2 pieces of candy?
Alfred. Like Alfredo sauce, like, you know? Okay. Yeah.
Jupiter makes up 99.8% of the solar system. Wrong or real?
Jupiter, we'll go with real.
That actually is wrong. The mass of the sun is 99.8.
Oh my god. No.
Yes.
I should have known that. No.
This week was fun, like always. And the most surprising question that we had was about Harvard. The one about Harvard. I cannot believe that.
That one took me a while to find online on the sources that I was looking for, funny facts, stuff like that. So I knew it was going to be a good one.
When I saw that, I was like, there is no way that Walmart has a lower acceptance rate than Harvard. Let's reel in some solutions.
We are nearing the end of the show, which means it's time for our informational segment, Reelin' in Solutions. Like we say every episode, this segment is what makes us the real deal. We love asking students about life on campus because it gives us a little insight on things that may need improvement.
A few different issues that came up this time, things ranging from more campus organization to the struggle of finding a dorm during the summer. Find all of these answers in just a minute.
It would be nice to see like the education buildings and stuff if they could get renovated a bit because of them getting older now.
Our physics club and everything, right? It's lacking just a little bit. It wasn't a club for like, I don't even know how long. I think 7 years, would you say?
It feels like there's other buildings on campus that are older too that have gotten, renovated or gotten additions and stuff to add it on to make it a little better and easier to utilize.
Organizing things like to, I guess go on field trips or whatever. Check out like what you actually do out in the real world. It was like a struggle with just that.
Resources to career centers need to be more emphasized. I mean, CLD does a good job of showing you a few websites and stuff like that, but they need like a more comprehensive, let us help you get out there in the field, in your major and minor, to get you a job.
So the way that the picking a room goes is really messed up because last year what happened is everyone went on at the same time and so it crashed. So half the people who were trying to get a room couldn't get a room. So my friends and I didn't end up in the building we wanted, which was all right. Like we're fine with where we're at, but it was such a bummer for that to happen.
Center for Students with Disabilities, they do a great job of helping out kids with physical, social, intellectual disabilities, what have you. But I think there's like a weird stigma around campus of like, for mostly non-visible disabilities, that like, oh well, if you don't have a visible disability, you shouldn't use the CSD. It's like, no, like they work with kids who have something as like dyslexia.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Thank you, dude.
Thanks, Aiden.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So thanks, brother.
Yeah.
Go Cubbies.
Go Sox.
No.
Autumn, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You can take those home and do it. I think we reeled in some great solutions.
I agree.
This week. A lot of
As
things
always.
that we talked about were things that I didn't really know needed improvement because I never had to stay in the dorms. And some of the organizations on campus that were talked about, I just haven't been a part of. So that was kind of cool.
I know personally, when I lived in the dorms my first 2 years, the selection process, my first year, obviously being a freshman, you don't really get too much seniority, so you kind of just get what you get. But being a sophomore, for those of you guys who don't know, is you have a time slot where you get to pick a dorm with a roommate you already have or a random roommate. But basically, everyone tries to go on the same server, like some of the people mentioned, and it crashes, and it crashed on people that we talked to.
Maybe sometimes you lose your roommate, but even sometimes you don't get into the dorm halls that you want.
And especially if you get the dorms that are farther across campus.
Yeah.
It's just farther away from everything.
All right, why don't we take a few minutes for our last commercial break, and when we come back, it's time for the second half of the show.
Warhawks know what it takes to become champions. At the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater, our student athletes pursue excellence with a determination that inspires everyone on campus. Warhawks are smart. Warhawks are strong. Warhawks value service. We prepare our student athletes for life after college. The University of Wisconsin-Whitewater. Come be part of the Warhawk family.
The Department of Communication offers students the opportunity to explore the world through the faculty-led travel study program. The course consists of both in-class lecture and a 3-week travel component at the end of the semester.
You have a life that is insanely busy. You don't have to give up so much time to do a 3-week travel study, and you can compact a lot in 3 weeks.
The course is worth 3 credits and is open to all majors. The program features group travel with peers and faculty.
I think the benefit of traveling in a group like the travel study is there's always somebody there to experience new things with you, and you always have new friends to gain.
Travel Study offers a variety of travel destinations, including a trip to Ireland every other year. Develop new relationships, participate in enriching cultures, and experience personal growth while abroad.
With the Travel Study, it was so great being able to go to places and really experience the value that they can give to our own culture and just to me as a person.
For more information, please visit
Peace, education, activism through creative engagement. Peace is a nonpartisan organization that promotes peaceful resolutions to university and worldwide conflicts. We raise awareness on issues regarding environmental rights, social equality, and political justice. Every month, we show a documentary in the Summers Auditorium. You can learn and have fun doing it. Peace. Be the change you see in the world.
Tech Crew is a position at the University Center that we have that employs students as workers to provide AV support for various events. Conferences, camps, orientations, entertainment events such as magicians, comedians, bands, and a wide variety of various things that the University Center hosts.
Tech Crew is a great place for people who are interested in lighting and sound to really get hands-on experience and to learn and to grow, and just to be surrounded by great people who also want to learn.
It is that atmosphere. It's fun, it's entertaining, you learn a lot. I've been here for a long time and I've learned a lot about various different types of people, different types of events. I've met a lot of connections that will help me later in life, and it's just fun to be around and do what you like to do in a setting where you can learn too.
Sign up for Tech Crew today.
The second half of our show is dedicated to our handcrafted video projects put together by each of us here at The Real Deal. We try to shed some light on many creative people and events around campus. Someone in town has recently become an official author. But do you want to know what's crazy? She's only 22 years old. That's a year older than I am. And she used to go to Whitewater. Shrita has more on the story.
Just because you don't have a college degree doesn't mean you can't be successful. Emma Breedis, a former UW-Whitewater student, proves that you can still achieve your dreams despite not finishing college. Her dream? To become an author.
Lawrence gripped the doorknob in his hands, clinging to the cold metal as he dangled in midair.
The young 22-year-old Whitewater resident hosted a book signing event early March at McQuantico Community Library for her debut novel, Where Demons Dance. Friends and family gathered to show support for Britas while having the opportunity to buy a physical copy with a signed signature and a personalized message of gratitude. Their journey was certainly not easy.
She gets caught in areas where she feels her creativity is gone or nothing's coming to mind. She doesn't know what to write. And she has what she calls them maybe like a dry spell or something. And she's worried that she won't be able to write. And then, sure enough, something sparks and then she's back to her writing again.
Her father was her biggest supporter as he's been there for her since the very beginning. It all started in 2015 after learning about the historical event of Mountain Meadow Massacre of 1857, where she began writing Where Demons Dance. After years dedicated to researching, working with editors, and learning how to self-market, Britas finally accomplished her goal. She shares her biggest advice to aspiring authors.
Just to keep at it, like don't give up. And like I know that's kind of cliche to say, but like you just have to do it. Even if you're scared about writing something, you're scared about publishing something. I'm scared to do this, but what other option is there? You know, you can either sit and be scared or you can just do it and be scared.
The advice she gives can be applied to everyone who has goals they wish to achieve. She now serves as an inspiration, representing the possible for young adults who have dreams.
And I'm definitely somebody who's afraid of failing, so I don't necessarily try things because I'm afraid to fail, but just seeing her being like, I wasn't very good when I started, and so like seeing her determination and kind of also like inspired me, like I can be determined too and I can do that too.
With more milestones to reach, Britas is currently working on her next novel, The Color Story. She hopes to release this in late 2019. I'm Trita Tao with UWW-TV.
That was an awesome story. Emma is an inspiration, really. She did drop out of Whitewater. She started her schooling here, and it just didn't work out for her, like many of us. School just wasn't her thing. But she found another passion along the way, and she's rolling with it. I think that's awesome.
I agree. A high school diploma, you know, that's something I think is necessary for most jobs in our country, at least. And college is just an extra degree, extra education that you can get to further yourself, maybe more possibly get a better paying job. But to be able to say, you know what, college is not for me. But at 22 years old,
it's impressive. Her first book signing, so she had her first book signing in McQuantico, meaning she has the physical copies of her book, and anybody can come and buy her book, and she'll leave a little message or a note in there for them. I think that's awesome. At 22 years old.
Yeah.
You know, all I thought about, I'm only a few years older than that. All I thought about at 22 was just going to school and working, and now she's writing her own book.
I 100% agree. Well, that was a beautiful, beautiful video package, as always, Sharita. I spent my time filming for my video project at the Young Auditorium. I luckily got to attend the first annual Family Day event hosted by Whitewater. Essentially, Family Day is a day dedicated to parents and their children having a fun time playing games or doing different activities as well. They also learn some fun information. Let's watch.
It's no surprise that Young Auditorium's first annual Family Day event was such a huge success. The amount of parents and children that attended surprised me, not because of the theme or the location of the event, but because of the weather. Many parents who attended Family Day stressed how the snow almost threatened a fun day out spent with their children.
It crossed my mind, but not my 5-year-olds. So thankfully we had a 4-wheel off-road truck, and so we made the trek out.
There was a multitude of different activities laid out for all the kids and their parents. There was Jenga games, face paintings, homemade arts and crafts, and more. The event was mostly coordinated by faculty at the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater, but there was some additional help from volunteers.
During the Coles show, I was just monitoring the room, and after that I've been helping to set up the bowling.
I saw you were playing some bowling before with some kids and stuff.
Yeah, we're the human bumpers today.
The event was created due to the event coordinator wanting to partner up with local organizations to provide a day of play for the community members.
Our main goal for this event is to bring families together and into our
our building. We want to get families comfortable with coming to our space and coming back frequently. We generally draw from a pretty wide area, and I would guess for this event we advertised heavily in Fort Atkinson and Whitewater through the school districts as well as through our partners, which are located in the Whitewater and Fort Atkinson area. Really looking to increase our participation from families in the community and get them into the space as often as possible. We're hoping to have this be an annual event, so we're looking to do this again next February.
Along with the next Family Day, there is an upcoming event in April. If you tested your luck with the ticket raffle, I hope you won. With all the excitement that these events bring to the kids, some parents found it difficult to convince their kids to leave.
Oh, sure, absolutely. And I can't get him to leave actually right now. He's playing lots of games and he doesn't want to stop. And he had Pikachu painted on his cheek.
From Young Auditorium, reporting for UWW-TV, I'm Colin Dume.
Family Day looked like a blast. Parents were playing the games. The kids were having a great time. Did you film that recently? It kind of looked like there may have been snow on the ground.
I think that was mid-February. There was a lot of snow on the ground, but I still feel like that package is necessary because it was the first event, like I mentioned in my package. Literally everything there, it was a fun time. Kind
of brings you back. I wish that maybe they had a family day like that for us, right? What do you think of the lyrical segment we had, college karaoke? You think it was a hit?
You know, I think that we need to maybe attune to a wider range of genres like we mentioned before. I definitely think adding some 70s, some 80s, maybe some rock, just kind of everything because, the show is a learning process and I didn't think most people, wouldn't know those songs.
Yeah, I definitely underestimated.
Yeah.
The songs that I looked at were most like the top hits from 2000s, songs that I remember dancing to when I was younger. But yeah, I kind of underestimated, the genres that people like on campus. So I'm going to think about that for next time.
And I think I'm definitely a bit more biased because I love Eminem.
Yeah.
So I knew all his songs, so I'm like, why wouldn't you know Eminem?
How do you not know Mom's Spaghetti?
But no, I'm a diehard Eminem fan, so I'm extremely biased when it comes to that. But
well, we are all out of time for this week's episode. As always, it was a great time filming and talking with some of our fellow Warhawks. We always leave the show feeling like we actually are helping people get their voices heard, and that's awesome.
You can tune into The Real Deal every Tuesday and Thursday night from 6 to 6:30 p.m. and 8 to 8:30 p.m. on UWW-TV. Until next time, I'm Colin Dume.
And I'm Cameron Slate.
Keep it real.